In the darkness lies your fears.
Heaven can't save you. Hell is
No. That's not how English works, Japanese developers. If the thing that lies is a plural, in the darkness lie your fears. Just saying. Or lay.
Or potentially lay.
Either way works. Yeah. Either way works.
I don't want potato chips.
Chris.
Lay's, Chris.
Did they
Lay's
just play that?
Lay's is not grammatically correct. Why do you know that, Chris?
Do they just play that text whenever you launch?
Well, they have some different ones.
Yeah, they got a couple of things.
It used to be a loading screen, but...
Zombie nurse is exactly how they feel like normally after a 12-hour shift. They often want to feel like they're getting stabbed in the head after all that.
Kind of wish I didn't run into that zombie that way. I could have used that flash grenade.
Do the flash grenades instant kill certain types of zombies like they do in RE4?
It kills them. Well, there are no tossable grenades, if that's what you're getting at.
Oh, okay.
He just means the self-defense grenade things.
The self-defense grenade one-shot to anything.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it could be used against the zombies, hunters, the chimeras, as we'll probably run into this part.
Not really bosses, though.
And not really bosses. No, that'd be funny. A tyrant tries to hit you and you put a grenade in its mouth and that's it.
Wesker's kind of, huh.
How about, like, when Nemesis says stars, Jill sticks a grenade down his gullet and says, I'll give you stars. Yeah. And then the game ends about 6 hours early.
And some random Resident Evil 2 stuff.
Oh, they
mention Ada, yeah.
Okay, so they...
No. This is always in the game.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
This is in the original
I
as
didn't
well.
recall,
Yeah.
so.
Oh, yeah, I remember you guys were talking about that. Yeah.
The interesting thing about Ada in Resident Evil 2's beta is that she wasn't originally supposed to be Ada. They changed her name to Ada in reference to this, if I recall. So...
Nice little callback, though. They changed.
I don't have
this
time
is
for a
entirely
biology
different.
lesson.
This is entirely different. So the entire point of the X-ray room is to find out the hidden third password. Well, the hidden second password to unlock the second or third floor of the laboratory. I'm not sure. In the original game, the password was mole, but they changed it to cell. And how you figure that out is that you put the X-rays in the correct order. They're alphabetized from A through A through H. And then when you turn the switch on, a certain part of the body is highlighted, and you have to take the first letter of those body parts, and it makes the password.
Is it one of those things where you have to solve the puzzle to get the password, even though you already know the password?
No, if you already know it's cell, then you can just put it in the computer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's a very Silent Hill kind of puzzle, actually. There was a
Yeah.
puzzle almost exactly like that.
It's almost exactly like Silent Hill, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, they were definitely pulling some influence from that series at this point.
The puzzles are definitely more brain taxing than in the original.
Oh,
Actually, in the entire series.
Where it was just in previous games, it was just kind of get item, put item in place, you know, put items on pedestals.
Like, some of these actually require you to think, so that's better,
Yeah,
I guess.
It makes the experience interesting anyway. Man, I still can't get over how good this game looks. Like, yeah, you can whine about how the environments are slightly blurry now. So I don't really care.
It's blown up, yeah.
I mean, if it's
It was clearly never meant to be seen at this resolution, but that's not really the game's fault.
Yeah. But it's better than Final Fantasy IX's remaster.
Well, that's also a big difference in power.
Remaster in quotes.
That was just embarrassing. Like, you couldn't even apply a little bit of filtering to that. Maybe just a bit.
Ooh, I wonder if this has number munchers.
Man, the umbrella GUI is just ugly. Jeez, man. What are they running this on? Like some sort of...
Time to play some Freddy Fish.
Well, if they have their own custom GUI, my guess is Linux.
Wait, do you actually have to...
I know you guys mean graphics user interface, but I keep wanting a cinnamon roll for some fucking reason.
Hey, why did they name a computer thing after me? That's pretty neat.
Ropolis system.
So, can you put in whatever name you want for the login, or is it John by default?
It's John by default.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't have to enter guess or anything like that.
So wait, in the first time you played this game, were you like, how did it know?
Now, this computer looks surprisingly modern for the time, but what I really liked in the Resident Evil 2 remake demo, as playing as Leon, was how old and retro-ass the computer that he accesses looks.
The huge ass CRT monitors that probably weighed like 50 pounds.
Not just that, but the operating system. The operating system is old.
Windows 95, I take it.
Something like that, yeah. It was,
Well, considering RE2's original release date, it'd probably be 98 at the very least.
Well, no, it's a police department. It's probably running on older software.
It's probably running on older software, yeah. Not just
True
because they got cheap, but older software is generally a bit more secure than newer software, just by virtue of having more updates. You know, you wouldn't want your police station, you wouldn't want your museum remodeled into a police station to be slightly insecure, would you?
Yeah, so for added security, we're going to add a new puzzle trap in order to get into the bathroom. Okay? It's going to change every week, so you better be
That's
careful.
why there were no bathrooms in the original game. I just didn't find the puzzle.
You got to find a medallion from the accounting department and then place it into the door, and it will open up just the urinal. And then you got to do a slide puzzle if you want to use the toilets.
Well, you know, say what you want about Chief Brian Irons being a serial murder taxidermist bastard.
It's
but
a GameCube. It's a GameCube.
He took the security and the dignity of his female officers very seriously.
Also, just as a note, this actually was a GameCube in the original.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What did they change it to for the PlayStation? Not PlayStation.
Well, for that, it's just a black cube thing.
Sort of a black box now.
Okay,
Yeah.
I was looking
Cube.
away, so I didn't see it.
Yeah,
But
in the original, it was a GameCube.
It resembled a GameCube, yeah. Honestly, I think that kind of took me out of it a little bit.
I don't know. I always find that kind of stuff cute. Like, Super Monkey Ball, one of the final levels was a GameCube. Like, the GameCube would rotate, and you had to stay on the top in order to get into the goal. In the remake not the remake, but the port to PlayStation and Xbox, they made it into a dice with indentations for the numbers on it, and it actually made the stage a lot harder because that was something your ball could fall into, and then you would get trapped in there. So yeah.
The you know, that stuff is cute as Easter eggs when it's in the background someplace, but this is kind of a quest critical thing to encounter while going through the final
Rebecca,
level.
do you think we could play some Super Smash Brothers Melee before we go?
Although it is kind of amusing to think about a GameCube that takes floppy disks.
No, it's not a floppy disk. It's a Mo disk.
You know what I mean. Big,
Wesker loves those sunglasses.
big, huge, bulky plastic floppy case discs. We know this wouldn't fit in a GameCube.
So the slide filter actually has more of a purpose in Remake than it did in the original. In the original, it was how you viewed the slideshow in the first place. In the Remake, you needed to distinguish to get the passcode for this terminal here.
Yeah.
Because without it, all you get is a barcode, and you can't make the numbers out for anything
Honestly,
else.
these little additions make the underground lab a lot more interesting than it originally was.
But no less longer. It's still the shortest area in the game.
Yeah, it's still the shortest area, but there's more to do down here. There's more interesting stuff to find, and that makes it... Oh, and then there's this.
Remember that videotape I got in part 1?
Oh, wow.
Yes.
There's no real reason to watch this. It doesn't tell you anything you didn't already know.
Yeah.
Zombies eat
Oh my
people.
God! Kenneth's dead!
Chris, you've
Oh my
known about
God.
that for 9
Chris,
hours.
you saw it. You were there. You saw his body.
That zombie ate the camera's neck. How horrifying.
That was an expensive camera.
Is that really what you should be focusing on right now, Chris?
The chief is gonna make me pay for it, okay? That's what he always does when we lose equipment. I don't know why he hates me so much. It should be Wesker paying for it. But,
Chris, you've destroyed 17 assault rifles by bending them in the past week.
These are the only guns you need.
But yeah, as I was saying, the lab is just generally more interesting to traverse here, and that makes it more impactful as a climax to the game.
This is where you, like, find out that Wesker is actually evil, shock and awe, and stuff, right?
Yeah,
I
you
never
saw-
would have guessed the weird sunglasses wearing cop was the bad one.
You saw his picture in the slideshow. Yeah, that's where you find out he was involved with all this.
I didn't
Doesn't
realize
compare
Wesker was
to
a
the original.
scientist.
That's probably why they have him in the sunglasses to begin with, just so that it's something visually distinct on a PlayStation game that would make you remember, hey, that's that guy that's supposed to be our friend. So,
Yeah, probably.
and it gets, those sorts of things just sort of stick after a while.
And away I go.
Now, who tied this lock? Excuse me, I need to kill a chimera. Who tied this lock to 3 separate computer terminals scattered around the laboratory, and why?
By the way, it's only by revisiting Remake now that I realize the Chimera sound effects are straight up the Novistadors in Resident Evil 4.
Yeah.
Hey, man, if you've got stock sound effects, you better get the most out of them.
Well, not any worse than what Silent Hill would end up doing.
Oh,
Oh, Silent Hill 4, holy shit.
Resident Evil does use a lot of stock animations and sounds, though, so...
Yeah, like, there's a whistle sound effect in Resident Evil 4 when you call Ashley. That is the same whistle that they use in Banjo-Tooie to signify that Jam Jars is nearby. So...
I think character animations from Resident Evil 0 and Remake on up until 5 were all shared between games.
Wow.
Certain things, yeah, because we'll see it later down the road, but in the final battle against Tyrant, when he really wallops Chris, his knockback animation is the same as the Ganados when you like blow their heads off or like hit them with a really hard hitting attack.
I mean, if you have an asset and it can work, then as long as it's not egregious, it usually doesn't matter to me.
Yeah.
Like if it doesn't look lazy, then it's
One of
fine.
the things, though, is that sharing animations, or at least, somewhat matching animations, can help a game feel familiar. Like, +1 to the Devil May Cry counter. Everything from... in 3, 4, and to a certain extent 5, a lot of the animations are shared, or, well, at least replicated between the games. That makes the characters feel instantly familiar when you're playing as them. So...
Let us pay our respects to the assault shotgun. We are never using it again.
I
It's like
thought
a Magnum.
that was one of the best guns in the game, though.
Yeah, but now we have a Magnum.
Magnum's better.
You've had a Magnum for like
Yeah,
5
but now
parts.
we have lots of ammo for it.
Yeah, at this point, if you've been collecting Magnum ammo and stockpiling it, you've got enough to make it to the end of the game.
Oh, so this game doesn't really do what Resident Evil 4 does, where it tailors your ammo based off of the guns you're using. There's just specific ammo drops.
Yeah, you're always going to find Magnum ammo here and there.
Yeah. Enemies don't give you anything. There is no advantage to fighting enemies other than getting the enemies out of the equation, possibly, assuming you finish them off before you leave the room.
Do they
don't
heal
drop-
all the way if you leave the room before
I
killing an
think
enemy?
they do. I'm not sure.
Okay.
I can see why Barry likes this thing.
That took 2 Magnum shots to kill. That is...
I was too far away.
that was unheard of. Unheard of.
Give that Chimera a promotion, instead.
Yeah. Magnum really likes... Barry really likes his Magnum.
Magnum really likes berry rounds.
It's like I think
Just take a look at this. It shoots berries all over the place.
Jill sandwich, Jill sandwich, Jill sandwich.
The sleuth. The sleuth monster. The sleuth.
The reason Barry is so comfortable giving you like extra ammunition and items and stuff is that he's got his Magnum and plenty of ammo for it. He's the smartest person in Resident Evil.
Wow,
Damn,
the
that's
people there are
satisfying
dumb.
I mean, he is putting up with Chris all the time, so.
Cool guys don't look at the enemies they're shooting.
Yeah, censored. All right, so this is probably one of the most nerve-wracking things Remake introduces, and so in this game, you have to resupply the elevator with fuel. but the a compound of the fuel is nitroglycerin.
Oh, we're Castlevania
And-
64ing up in this bitch.
Yeah, basically. So while this is in your inventory, you are not allowed to run, basically.
Or shoot. Or get
Or
hit.
no, or so, okay. There are probabilities for this. So
Is there a reason we're taking it somewhere?
yes, we need to fuel the elevator.
Who made their elevator run on nitroglycerin, and where can I fire them?
Well, no, it's made out of fuel. The elevator runs on fuel. The fuel has nitroglycerin in it. I mean, that's an entirely different thing.
Well, nitroglycerin isn't entirely meant as an explosive, Ted, and they probably weren't counting on zombie swarms when they designed this place.
So you are allowed to run for maybe 1 or 2 seconds before you have to stop. Otherwise, it explodes. Every time you fire a gun, depending on the gun you fire, there is a chance that you might set the nitro off. I think with the gun, it's 20% per shot. Magnum is 30 because, of course.
The gun. Which gun?
The
Yeah.
handgun.
Right.
Shotgun, I think the shotgun and the Magnum have the same probability because they're bigger guns, obviously. Getting attacked by an enemy, there's a 30% chance the compound will go off. And, yeah, it's just kill the enemies beforehand and then get the nitro.
Yeah, which is why John pulled out his Magnum and just went wild.
Should have just
No,
used my Heelys to roll down the aisle.
Aw,
one-
Rebecca made me take them off, though.
This is one of those things where it can be either tense because you didn't see it coming and didn't kill the enemies ahead of time, or really goddamn tedious because you did. Oh, there was one left. Okay.
We'll
Hey,
never see it
laughing
again.
boy, one chimera left.
Man, that would have sucked.
What, just getting blindsided by a chimera?
By the one Chimera you missed while trying to prepare for that section, yeah.
I'd be laughing more, though, to be honest.